So I sold this necklace for...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way.
No, yeah. And someone's not even gonna buy it because they think you're a fraud, rightfully so, and... No, not rightfully so. Because they think... Hi, you are watching a part 1 of a pricing video we did with Megan, and Megan will react to my old prices that I actually sold my first jewelry for. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. And you can watch the second part of this video on Megan's channel where she shares amazing pricing formulas, so don't miss that one out. So some of you might already know Megan. She flew all the way from Belgium to Poland, where I live, so we could film this video for you.
Hi guys!
And she also has a YouTube channel, which is brilliant. You should check it out. She offers an amazing course and helps jewelry designers make more sales in their jewelry business. I will show Megan photos of my jewelry that I made in the past, and it's already sold, and she will try to guess how much I actually sold it for, which is going to be very interesting. I have an inkling that we might have a different opinions here, but let's see what she says. Let's get started with this jade necklace. It was a decent length.
Nice.
And I've used an entire strand of natural jade beads, gemstone ones, and all of the elements were silver, so silver clasps, silver beads.
Well, like you said, if it's silver as well, so at least that's good quality materials. Jade's not a bad stone. It's obviously well made because you're a talented jewelry designer.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe something along the lines of 115.
Okay, yeah, let's hear how much this necklace was actually sold for. I wonder how much you guys think it was sold for. I'll give you just a second to get a number in your head. And yes, so I sold this necklace for $23.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way.
No, yeah. So
What?
in pounds, how much it would be in pounds? Like 18 pounds. Yeah.
Surely the beads themselves cost like nearly all of that.
Yeah, I
God.
didn't get my money back. I have no idea. If I were to tell you what I was thinking, that was very beginning. When I first started, I was selling on Etsy. I was making beaded jewelry mostly. That was right after this necklace. I started with silversmithing and I was already selling silver stuff and I was already using silver components. However, I cannot for the life of me explain where I got this price from. And I could tell you that a massive imposter syndrome was at play here. It was definitely one of the reasons. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in pricing custom work, it's something I don't do, but I know a lot of you guys are doing. Keep watching till the end of the video because that's where we will discuss this subject. Okay, next one up is amethyst ring, which is one of my favorites. And what you need to know about this ring is that was the only time I found a gemstone shaped like this. I never found another one after this. I had so many people asking me about this, never got a chance. So it is kind of very one of a kind.
Okay, well, first of all, it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Definitely a gorgeous shape indeed. So, looking at it, I see that you've used the bezel wire that you buy, the fancy bezel wire.
Yes, and also everything is sterling silver.
Usually one-of-a-kind pieces should cost more, in my opinion. The shank looks quite thick as well, so you used a decent wire there
it
as well.
was a thick, quite wide band.
Wide and also probably quite heavy, so decent amount in there. So when did you make this roundabout in your jewelry career?
It was quite early. I was out of my beginner stage. Although, what is the beginner stage, honestly? I still feel like I'm learning today.
Generally, when you're selling on Etsy, we do have a tendency to price quite low from my experience because everybody else on Etsy is pricing things quite low. So you want to compete with other people there. So I'm going to guess that you probably priced this at around 85 is a number that's popping in my head.
85 pounds.
85
right?
pounds.
All right.
Price reveal?
Okay, so I priced this ring and sold it for $60, which is roughly 54, 55 pounds, something like that. And it's a good thing to know that I really fought myself pricing this one. I realized this is a good ring. I worked so hard. I found this beautiful gem, which is so one of a kind, and I just really fought myself on this and decided to price it higher. Yes. So this ring was, according to me, priced higher.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
When I said the 85, I was pricing it low.
You were lowballing it, considering that I probably priced it low.
Yes.
Considering Etsy.
Yes. And to think that you thought that was a lot for
Yeah.
a one-off piece of jewelry,
Yeah.
and that beautiful shape that you never found again. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I was really excited when it sold quite quickly.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, surprise. And I was very thankful.
I mean, that person was like, oh my god, what a score. Let me snap that up
Yeah.
before somebody else grabs it, because that's
True.
a total steal.
However, there is a good point to make here. Some people, if they do know the real prices and they can tell that something is priced quite low, they can appreciate it. But with most of the people, and I'm actually among those people, I would think that something isn't right. I would think, is this really sterling silver? Why is it priced so low?
Exactly.
It would be a red flag. So pricing low is actually shooting yourself in the foot, because you might not have an idea what someone might think, because they see this low
100%.
price and they will consider that it's fake. Because why would you price it so low if it's silver, if it's handmade, if it has real gemstones in it?
Totally. Like, if something's too cheap, I'm like, is that stainless steel that's been plated with silver, or you know, what is it? Even on like a lot of big brands, actually, they're priced really low and looks like gold, and then you read in the fine detail, brass plated with gold, not even silver,
Yeah.
and that's why they price so much lower.
Exactly.
So true.
And there's you, who is just trying to be nice and not rip people off, and you feel like a fraud for even selling this in the first place, because you shouldn't. Why would you even consider yourself a seller? So yeah, there's you trying to price something fairly, and someone's not even gonna buy it because they think you're a fraud, rightfully so, and no, not rightfully so, because they think Jesus.
Thank God we can edit, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Thank God it's not live.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, the fraud you are.
I knew it, I've been found out.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna work. You really have to price yourself and your work properly, and that's where people will appreciate your work even more.
Exactly, and then they value it more, because if it's priced higher, what it's worth, then they value it more and they look after it better, rather than pricing it too low and everyone just trying to undercut everybody.
Exactly.
Then,
Yeah.
they'll appreciate wearing that piece so much more.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now we have also, this time sterling silver and fine silver ring with rose quartz and some details, but mostly it's a pretty simple ring.
Decent sized ring, good materials, not super expensive gemstone. I would say a little bit later than you're selling the other one. Hopefully you were selling it for at least 120. At least, I'd hope. Yeah.
Let's find out. Okay, so you said £120.
Yep.
So that, I don't know, would be $130, $40. So I sold this ring for £38.
No.
Which is around $41.
No.
Yes.
You did it.
Yeah, I did.
What?
I did.
Why?
And it was again priced higher.
No. No, what the hell?
I cannot believe this. I'm cringing so much right now because going through this with you is just
my God.
opening old wounds.
But it's so crazy that you thought you were pricing that high.
I did. I thought going
God.
over £35, over $40,
no.
I was really going for it this time.
But I was like, okay, it was a bit later than the other ones, so maybe you'd upped your prices a bit since then. No, even how long that took? There's skill involved in that. Oh my God.
Yeah, it did take me about 3 hours to make. And that's just time. That's just time.
Never mind the materials.
Never mind the materials. No, and anything else that we will talk about. Do you want to mention what else we should be including in this? What am I missing here? Because what I included in this was some of my time and materials. That's it.
I mean, for one, then shipping. What about all of your boxes? Did you put it in a nice box probably? I'm sure you took care packaging it all beautifully with things. All those things add up. Then never mind like all of your overheads, your electricity. Is there any taxes that you need to be paying depending on which country? All of this is in
Commission.
Yeah, totally.
And tools. And you actually will show us exactly how to include all of that and price it in your video on your channel.
Yeah.
So make sure after you finish watching this one, head over to Megan's channel and watch the second part, because that's where the magic happens and we will finally learn how to price our jewelry. If we are doing this, if we are deciding on doing this, and even if it's just a hobby, but if you really are trying to make it a living out of this, come on.
I got your back, guys. I got your back.
So I've got another rose quartz ring with a nice rose quartz, also sterling and fine silver, and this one required a bit more work because the decorative wire that's around the ring was made and twisted by me. It required quite a bit of skill to solder it over there.
Again, beautiful. I love the little detail with the little ball over there. That's really cute.
Yeah.
So the previous one, we know you priced quite low, but maybe you thought this one was more complicated. So maybe you priced this one a little bit higher because it took clearly a lot longer and a bit more effort involved. One would hope, right? Okay, so let's say at least 110, 115.
Okay.
So
let's find out. I sold this ring for £23.
No.
Which is $25.
No.
Yes.
You're actually joking.
I am not joking.
Masha, no. You're joking.
No.
What the hell? It took you like 4 hours. You just
I will show myself out. Honestly.
What do you plan? Oh my god, like how are you planning to make, did you want to, sorry, one moment. Are you planning on making a living from running your jewelry business at this point? How, with what money now exactly?
Honestly,
God.
So the previous one I priced higher, right? Pricing this ring, I thought I priced it just right. For Etsy.
Really? For Etsy?
So I didn't feel like I was pricing too much. I didn't really have that imposter syndrome here because I thought I priced it just right. Maybe I got the money back for materials, because obviously materials, they do cost a lot, but if you consider the amount that you're using for actual piece, I would say maybe.
Never mind your time.
But time at all.
No time, your skills.
Nothing else.
No. Oh my goodness.
Handmade work. So the way you are pricing it, you're thinking about your handmade work from a perspective of costume, high street jewelry.
Totally.
And you're trying to price your jewelry competitively with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is completely different.
The way that those are made is like completely mass produced, like, and if you look at the quality, it's like so bad. Like when you look,
plastic.
It's light, it weighs nothing. It's like hollow rubbish.
You can't compare those.
No.
You just cannot. It's like comparing plastic toy car with actual Tesla.
Or like plastic plants with real plants.
Exactly. All right, an Amazonite ring. A lot of silver here. It's massive. It definitely had a lot of fine silver used on the bezel. There are hand fabricated leaves that I had to attach on two sides. Obviously it is closed back bezel, so the entirety of the back of the stone is covered with silver, sterling silver.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I was very proud of this one at this time.
For sure.
I did price it more than usual.
Oh, okay. Let's aim high then. I mean, this must have taken you time, and even just to like consider the design process of this, you have to be like, okay.
The shape was tricky.
Yeah, like the shape of the stone itself isn't exactly like a standard cabochon shape. It's not round, it's not like an oval shape. And it's huge. It's like fits half your, like all the way up to your first knuckle, right?
I believe the stone was around 4 or 5 centimeters.
Wow. Please tell me it was at least 165.
165
At
pounds.
least. And that's me still kind of lower end, like thinking.
Okay, and that goes around $170, $180.
I hope.
Let's see.
190 even, to be honest. Like, please.
I am enjoying this.
Me too.
Okay.
It's just so crazy.
I have sold this ring for $38.
No!
42.
Actually,
Oh no, sorry.
No.
Sorry, 38 pounds.
Pounds!
So that's $42. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And that even took you longer than the other one,
I
sure.
have no idea why I thought I was pricing this one higher if I priced my tiny rose quartz ring the same. And that was after rose quartz ring.
No, I don't even have any words anymore for you.
I know. I don't have rose.
Do you not want to make a living from your jewelry?
Clearly not. Clearly not. But here we are. So, there's a way out of this madness.
Yes.
Trust me. And that is proper pricing, you guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, the imposter syndrome will try to eat you alive. Having doubts. A lot of you, and I'm sure a lot of you, especially if you are trying to start selling at craft fairs, where people can actually come to you and see your work and usually share their opinions, they are oftentimes not very polite. Oh, I could get this at Target. Or I could make it myself. Or look at that. Can you make that for me? Worst thing is that we really listen to them and we really start using those opinions in the way we perceive our own work.
It's so annoying because that person, you're giving the authority to that random person who has zero clue about what materials get involved, how long it took you, everything, all your studies, learning how to do all of that. It makes me crazy. Literally, I'm getting goosebumps. Like that. It's so true. I did it myself. Like I would value their opinion on my jewelry. Like, oh, I can get it, like you said, cheaper at Target. And it's like, well, why don't you go get the one from Target? Oh, because it's not as nice. Oh, well.
It's not even a nice aspect. This is not a costume jewelry.
No.
That jewelry doesn't last. It's a year or two before it's just rubbish. With handmade jewelry and proper materials, it's usually an heirloom. You can pass it down to your daughter, your granddaughter, you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so and this pricing with the bank and progress to customs, I'm going to show you one last example of a ring that I made custom to my customer. And I'm curious for you to price it and see how much you think I sold it for.
Okay, I always have to ask, when about were you in terms of your jewelry?
After all of the
previous
other previous ones. This is like the newest out of all of them. Massive labradorite.
Please tell me this was at least 225. It is beautiful. It's a custom design. It's made specifically for the person. One of a kind stone. It's huge. And like the effort and time that went into it. 225 pounds. $250.
Yeah. Okay. Let's cry together. So I sold this ring for 58 pounds.
No.
Around $62.
No.
Yes.
No.
And I remember telling that price to the customer. I was so stressed that she won't agree. I felt like I was overpricing because I went for a higher price. Because I sold the Amazonite ring for around $42. And this time I wanted 20 more.
Oh my god, you're so greedy. How could you possibly want 20 more?
How come she agreed? It's like it was clearly a ripoff.
And you're probably like, your heart was beating like when you told her the price.
Oh my god, waiting for her response. That was crazy. Oh, actually, I have one killer note for you here because I just remembered. I don't think that I actually charged for shipping.
Oh my god, so
on
you
all
had
of these. Because those of you who have experience with Etsy, you know how they are pushing the free shipping. Yeah.
Oh my
I just
goodness.
remembered this.
What?
I don't think I charged for the shipping.
So how much was shipping then?
At that time, I think it was around £6, even £8, something like that, up to $10.
So go back and subtract that from all the prices. Oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna leave you with that. we will continue. Right, so let's just jump right into customs and yeah, tell me about it.
I actually have a story about doing a custom order when I learned my lesson. So before that, I've done some few customs here or there, and after this one, I was like, oh my goodness, something has to change. So in a nutshell, I was working at the school. It was a colleague of mine. It was sports day, and she comes up to me and says, Megan, can you make me an engagement ring? I don't know, maybe, sure, I don't know, depends what it is. So I'm like, okay, can you do it for like 100 or 200 pounds? And I'm like, I don't know, depends what you want, because you know, it depends on the metal, depends on if she wants stones. There's so many things to go into it to be involved. So that's why I kept saying maybe, I don't know, but she just took that as a yes. But then when she came and showed me her design that she wanted, she was like, oh, she sent me some pictures. So it was like a full eternity ring with stones all the way around. So she was like, okay, we got to do it still silver to start off with. And I was like, I don't usually work with stones, but I know somewhere where I can get stones set for you and we can choose some stones. I get a quote done for this piece and get done. And then it costs 50 euros, so what, 60, 65, $70 more than I had completely randomly estimated in the field during sports day in a frantic flurry.
Yeah. How much
it might cost
would cost entirely for that customer.
But that was based on absolutely not knowing anything about the design she wanted.
What? So hang on. So let me process that. So you just gave the roughly estimated price.
I didn't say any numbers even.
Oh.
She was like, can you do it for around about
Okay, so she came up with the price for that. And then it turned out that the cost of producing this particular ring would be even more than that price.
And that was only the cost of the materials to make that ring, and then the stone setter to set those stones. So that was not including the fact that I made the whole ring myself first. The time that it took me to make that ring, also it was in a hurry. I was just about to go on holiday. So I worked till like 1 or 2 in the morning trying to get this ring done so I could drop it off on the next morning before I left for the airport.
Overtime.
So I went completely out of my way to make this happen for her.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so then she's like going off down the phone at me, it costs more, you said that. And I was like, no, I never said. I said maybe, depends on whatever, I don't know, I'm going out my way for you. Then she was like, but it cost, I looked online and they cost cheaper on the high street. I can find it in other shops for cheaper. And I was like, well, why don't you go get one of those? And she's, well, because they're not as nice. I'm like, okay, well, you need to pay more for the one that's nice. But she was so angry at me. I was sitting in the stone setter's office at the time, and he was like, do you want to give me the phone? I'm going to go shout down the phone at her because she's being she has no idea. I basically sold it to her at a complete loss because I just wanted her to just be happy, go away.
Complete this custom.
Just
put it
done,
in the past.
Move on and
learn the lesson. Yes. Yeah. Don't get scared. Usually people are very understanding and conversation is possible.
Yes.
However, sometimes there are people who will react this way, and I'm thinking the way to avoid it is having everything prepared in advance and informing your customer, because truly sometimes people honestly have no idea. It's really good to have your policies that you send to your customer prior to even starting the work and having them agree on this. And that includes pricing, price changes, all the research, and before you even start working on jewelry, they have to agree to the price.
Yeah. Totally. So my main takeaway from that particular one was never feel pushed into a corner or on the spot to say a price.
Yes.
Never ever do that. That was the biggest thing I learned with that, is to then say, great, sounds interesting, maybe we can work something out, let me get back to you. What is your budget? I always ask them first, what is your budget? And your expectations? I'll need to see some examples before you mention a price from your side at all. So you need to know what they want, so get an idea of that before you quote. And I think when you know their budget, you're so much more in a better position to be able to quote them what is possible within that budget, because they have no idea how long it takes, what the materials cost, any of that stuff, and your time. So it's much better to work within their budget and say, okay, I think this would be possible within that.
I guess communication is the key here, and just really setting realistic expectations for both of you, having clear policies and being prepared and having everything written down and agreed upon.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
that's based on my experience personally. Yeah.
But also another thing to remember in terms of that is it's a commission work, so it shouldn't be priced the same price as your other work on your website or wherever you're selling, because it's a one-of-a-kind piece, so it should be higher. So they may look at your other price and be like, oh, but these ones are cheaper. It's like, okay, but this is a completely different design because you have to design that piece and spend a lot more time on that.
Right, so I hope you've enjoyed learning about my old prices and how massively I was underpricing. Now let's learn how to actually price, and let's go to Megan's channel, watch her video where she will share her secrets, her formula and actual useful information to save us all from this misery and not repeating the mistakes I've made.
We've all made.
Yes, yeah. Let's go over there. See you then.
Bye. Yay! Well done.
Yeah.